need to know why he was placed there, really, or this confirmation, and why he's still placed there. Because, or else, if he's not good at managing money, then
As we have as a team today, are you aware of who you're dealing with? RJ, was Michael aware of his situation? Did he sign something and he didn't realize it until 20 years later he signed it when he was 17 and realized at 37, I cannot move without my parents or my conservative, how do you say, conservatorshippers or conservatees? I don't know. The people who are managing my money,
the Touhys.
the Touhies, the ratatouilles. I cannot move anything. I cannot buy anything unless they agree.
So, what's your question?
I knew it. I knew it. Was he aware of who we was dealing with?
Yeah. Well, I think that
Was
at
he
eight,
aware of his surroundings and all that stuff? What he was signing or whatever.
so I think at 18 years old, it's difficult to tell. At the same time, if everything was okay with him and with his surrounding in the first place, then he wouldn't have had to be placed in that situation in the first place. If his upbringing, if his family was stable, so
Mhm.
it's clear that he was uh, in his life wasn't smooth. Now I have a bit of difficulty answering the question because now I'm thinking to myself, what is true, what is not? Because he's saying that it's not true. So I'm gonna answer the question based on the story, and
Which one?
I'm gonna answer the question based on the story of based on the movie
Mm.
and the aspects of the movie that, according to or aren't correct. So everything that so I'm gonna be just like a judge. If one party says one thing, let's say a party says A, B, C, and D, and the opposing party says D is not correct, then as a judge, I will assume that A, B, and C are correct and D is in dispute because the other party only reacted to D and didn't say anything about A, B, and C. So in this case, I will assume that he plays football.
No, he doesn't play it. He's retired.
He
So
used to,
you
so even that's a lie. No, I'm just kidding.
that's a lot.
But I can say that he used to play football. He played football during that time, and he did play football at the high school, etc. I will
Mhm.
assume as well that he did live with the family, and I assume that the family had influence over him in one way, shape, or form. Maybe they didn't adopt him, but they did. Um, he was placed under conservatorship, under their conservatorship. So I think that when he signed it, he didn't. If it's true that he moved from one uh, family to another, then that to me is a sign that he was a bit troublesome. If they were the first ones, then maybe he wasn't that troublesome, and I might tend to lean more towards what Michael Oher is saying. But one thing seems to be certain that he's not saying that is incorrect. He did need them. Whether or not he needed them for driver license and so only driver's license and medical insurance and so or more, that's out of the that's not relevant for now. But if a 37-year-old man is still placed on a conservatorship, that means that a either he didn't see need either he didn't find the need to remove that conservatorship, or and thus he was okay with it, or he really isn't able to manage his own money. If that's the case, I can imagine if and he's not good at counting money, I tend to
Okay.
lean more towards the Touhy's story than his story. So everything now, so as a great part of the to answer that question, the to answer the question, definitely, I would need to know why he was placed there, really, or this confirmation, and why he's still placed there. Because or else, if he's not good at managing money, then
Maybe the Tuohys were protecting him
maybe
from from himself, just like Reebok protected. You know who I'm gonna say, right? AI.
artificial intelligence. No, I'm just kidding.
Iverson.
Yeah,
Iverson
yeah,
signed a deal, and then they put like after I think 30 years or 20 years, he'll be able to reach that. He can take the money out because otherwise you probably would have blown it.
blown it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maybe the Tuohys are protecting themselves, just like Britney's family was protecting her against herself.
yeah.
And let's see how she's gonna end up now.
Yeah. So usually when you have someone placed under guardianship or conservatorship or any type of those ships, one that person is responsible. Usually you also need to, and I think it's with conservatorship too. You will need to report to the court. Not
Mm,
like you just simply go there. I don't think. I doubt that with conservatorship, but usually you have a report uh, to report the status if you want to make like purchases and transactions. You want to buy some things or want to sell something, there are certain rules sometimes that before you can do it as well, you need to check uh, with the court to get
mhm.
approval, or that the court would need to so I don't, if it's anything like that, then I don't see how you can just mismanage someone's funds like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
I need to know more. But when you told me that he was writing a book, or that he published a book,
yeah.
then it's like, yeah.
Is
And
this
if
a
it's
marketing
really
stunt?
a marketing stunt, and if that's really the case, I hope not. Um, uh, because if they did steal from him, then it's shame on them.
Yeah,
Because as the person that was placed under conservatorship is, you basically have control over that person's life, over that person's assets, and you can do a lot of things that can help him or harm him. And if that's the case, then that's a big infringement of that responsibility. However, if it isn't true and Michael's just using this for clout to sell his books, then I would say it's just like Kiki Palmer, which we discussed in the last show. If you're willing to throw someone that helped you or that was there for you or whatever under the bus,
yeah,
that
that's
means
great.
that you don't think that that person, you really see that person as not worthy enough to not do that.
That would
You
be
see that person as disposable.
a lot of questions. A lot of questions. We will follow this story closely. You can ask yourself, did he write the book because he doesn't have any money more? Who knows? Who knows? We will follow this story closely. So, guys, if you want us to keep following, let us know in the comments right away.